Okay, ladies, have you ever looked in the mirror and wondered, whose body is this? Why does everything feel harder now? Is my body turning against me? Today, we're going to start rewriting that story because your body is not betraying you. It's trying to have a conversation with you. I have to admit, there was a time when I felt the same way. I felt like, what is happening? So many things were changing. My vision was changing. My hair was thinning. I was gaining weight. I had brain fog, walking into rooms, not realizing what I was in there for or forgetting why I was in there. All of those subtle changes. And then it starts to kind of get deeper and concerning to you. And the worst part is you start to blame yourself because the things that you used to do when you were younger isn't working anymore. And that becomes really frustrating for women. Women are saying that they're doing all of the things, they're lifting weights, they're exercising, they're doing all of that, but it's not working. Most commonly, women start to eat less and start to exercise more, making sometimes things compile on each other and making it worse. But what if the real problem wasn't your body at all? What if the real problem was the story we're telling ourselves about it? So today we're going to dive deep into what's actually happening in this body. What happens during midlife, the hormonal shifts, the cortisol changes, metabolism shifts. I want you to think about it as you have your body, it's your best friend, it's trying to call you, but you didn't recognize the number. So you kept hitting ignore, ignore, ignore. She didn't give up. She tried texting you, she tried emailing you, knocking on your door. That's not betrayal, that's actually devotion. Your body's devoted to you. It's trying to help you out. It's giving you those signals, you're just not hearing it. I once worked with a woman that came to me with very similar story, like you and I, and she didn't even realize how bad things were until she started to feel better. She had all the signs, but she just kept thinking this was the normal thing for her. This is just something that we go through. This is just what it means getting to be 40 and 50, and that's just it. There's nothing you can do about it. You just have to cope. I'm here to tell you that that's not true. So let's talk about the shifts that are happening. And you may have heard a little bit about this, but it can really look different for each woman. The biggest thing is that your body is changing, yes, but it's how you adapt to those changes that really matter. So first thing is we as women over 40, we start to decline in our hormones. Your estrogen, progesterone, testosterone, and cortisol start to decline. So during perimenopause, which can be a period of time before you hit menopause, it's a time when there's a lot of changes happening. It's kind of like a wave. 1 minute your hormones are really high and 1 minute they're lower. There's a lot of mood changes, irritability, forgetfulness. One of the common things is also fatigue. Women just feel very tired. Maybe you've slept 8 to 10 hours and you still feel exhausted. So that's part of the issue. It's not that those changes are bad or it's downhill. It's just a new phase in your life. So we're going to talk about how we start to deal with these changes and thrive in midlife and beyond, no matter what changes are happening. So the first thing is that there's a mind-body connection. There's research out there to show that there is what's in your mind really impacts your body, right? Just think about it. If you're stressed, it infects your body. If you're happy, it affects your body. All of the thoughts. So we need to really deal with that mind-body connection to make sure that as we're getting older, we're not letting the external influences impact our bodies in a negative way. What am I talking about? Okay, look around you. There's everywhere. You look in the news. We're busier than ever. We've got social media. We've got competing priorities. And we as women, we are in this. We're living this every single day. It was probably easier for you to cope when you were younger, but now it feels like you're getting busier. The emails don't stop. The presentations, all the deadlines is still there. It's piling up, but it's, your body's doing all of this, right? So how does that work? This is where you need to stop and pause and really listen to those signals that your body's giving you. How are you feeling? What does your body need right now? Is it more work? Is it a time to pause? And I know it sounds crazy, but this is really the basic things that you need to work on is how do I treat my body in this new age? Do I need to stop? Do I need to carve out time for myself? Do I really need rest? Or is there something else really going on? If, for example, if you're perimenopause and, you're still having cycles, heavy bleeding can cause low iron levels, and that can also make you really tired. So uncovering changes that age. And I recommend, if you have a provider that's not doing all those checking, even if you told them to, find somebody that's going to listen to you, because it can really make a huge difference. I had a lady who her iron stores were borderline. I sent her for an iron infusion, and it made a huge difference in how she was able to, get up and go for the morning, right? So looking at your sleep cycle, looking at how you're handling stress is very, very important, because if your mind is constantly wired, if your body feels like it's constantly running away from a tiger, is what I say, or a lion, it's really hard for your body to really relax. It's hard for your body to lose weight. It's hard for your gut health to really be normal, because your body starts to respond to that stress in a way that it might be harmful and might start to cause, wreak havoc in other parts of your body. Then I also want you to change the narrative around your body, thinking that your body is broken. Your body's not broken. It's just a way of changing things around, right? So don't feel like there's no point anymore. I gave up. Don't give up. Literally, don't give up on yourself. There's still room for you to improve your health. There's still room for you to have glowing skin. There's still room for you to have less belly fat. Does it take work? It does. But starting with the basics is what's important. One of those basic things is consistency. Often I see women that will try a couple of things for a couple of days and it's done. Now, I don't expect that you're going to be perfect all the time. You won't be. But honestly, and I'm speaking from my own experiences. I'll give you an example. One of the things I struggled with was stress eating. I've shared my story before. I had a lot going on during the pandemic, going to school, raising children in a home. And, I'm a married woman and you have other responsibilities in the community and all of that. But I knew that one of the things that I had going against me was stress eating. I used food to manage stress. So it first starts with being self-aware about what your body really is going through. What are the symptoms? So food was not my problem. Often we blame food, but food is not the problem, right? Yes, we are surrounded by unhealthy foods. And sometimes if you make the wrong choices, you end up, of course, overeating and gaining weight. But for me, food wasn't my enemy, right? It's my relationship with food. So women, I highly encourage you to be mindful about what is happening around you. Be mindful with how you are feeling in the moment. What do you need? Do you need to step away? Do you need to take a break? Do you need to sleep? Do you need to take a walk? Do you need to get on the phone and call your therapist? Do you need to call your friend? What do you need right now? And not using food as the tool to solve that problem. And I also want you to do this thing. This is something that I also say to myself, that my body is not broken. My body is wise. It's adapting. It's asking for new leadership, not punishment. And women, sometimes I feel like we punish ourselves. We deprive ourselves. Oh, I can't have that. Oh, I can't have this. 1 minute you're on this diet. 1 minute you're on that diet. You're reading all of these books and this book is telling you to do this, and it can get overwhelming and women get frustrated. They lose a little bit of weight. They gain it back, or you plateau. So start with the basics. Stay consistent with it. And if you feel like you need some extra support, don't be afraid to go to someone who's willing to listen to you to get some more support. And then, so these are some other mantras that I like to use. The first thing is morning mantra. I want you to say, my body is doing the best it can for me, and I choose to trust it today. Your body's always giving you signals. It's always trying to tell you something is wrong, whether it's a pain, whether it's stiffness, whether it's gut health issues, maybe you're having bloating or gas. Listen to those symptoms and try to deal with it instead of just covering it up or just taking medication. Sometimes you being the leader and choosing to figure out the root cause, either by talking to a provider or getting some coaching to kind of help you work through it. I look at you as you are the hero in your own story, and you know better than anybody else, better than any doctor or nurse, what's actually happened. So if you're feeling stuck anywhere, it's okay to ask for help. And that's why, I created this mindfulness guide of ways for you to really stay in listen to the cues that your body's giving you. I'm going to put that in the show notes. You can take a look at that. It has helped a lot of my clients really rewire the way they're thinking about the changes that's happening in their body, because we women, we really are juggling a lot, and sometimes we get stuck, and sometimes you do need that extra help and guidance along the way, and there's nothing wrong with that. So to wrap this up, I want you to know that midlife is just the beginning. It's not the end. The most powerful chapter, I feel, because a lot of things are it's a time where you can start new businesses, you can, change careers. It's the most powerful chapter if you allow it to be. If you have any questions, I want you to DM me directly. You can DM me on Instagram at dr.ade.akindipe_DMP on Instagram. Or you can also reach out to me in the comment sections on YouTube. I'll be happy to answer any questions you might have. If there's any topics that you would like to learn about, just let me know. And don't forget to subscribe, like, and share this video to any woman that might need a little bit of guidance. See you in the next video.